Welcome back, everybody, to the Brew Crew Podcast. This is day 24, the last day of the Advent calendar. It's bittersweet. It's been a long, grueling, but delicious process. And now we're at the end. I don't know what I'm going to do. Next couple days, there will be no recordings. I'll just be living life as a normal civilian, as they say. I'll just be not drinking beer. But first, we have Vanilla Sunkiller by Masthead Brewing. Vanilla Sunkiller. This is a imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla. 14.9%. It is actually Christmas Day, so I did miss this one from from Christmas Eve, 3-2-1. But that was almost intentional. I wanted to get all of the holiday stuff done, gifts wrapped. Santa's coming. I gotta probably just hide because Santa's gonna be here. It's midnight. It's actually, I started this video at 11:59, so technically I'm on time. But it is midnight now. I'm already a minute and 30 into this video. So this is a stout. Imperial stout. Let's go over some of these beers. Let's see how was this Advent calendar for everybody? How was it for you? I think that this ranks up there with the best of them. We had some beers. Let's see. Will we remember? I think I'll remember Mushu Shoo 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 because of the name and because I picked it. I think I will remember. Oh, there's not going to be much. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a memorable calendar. It's hard to have a beer that really is the top dog. You really need to surprise us. And, not much comes to mind. Yeah. There was some good stuff on here, though. We had the Mortalis Hydra Slushmellow. That was very good. That was a 5. Oh, wow. Interesting beer. The leaves begin to fall. The daily light shortens. The shadows lengthen. Many are unsettled by the chill in the air as the wind whips the barren landscape. A select few embrace it. One of our most monstrous stouts has hibernated in Blanton's Stag Jr. and Weller bourbon barrels with Ugandan, Tanzanian, and Sumatran vanilla beans. That is a shitload of diverse vanilla beans. I mean, we're talking about I don't know, where's Sumatra at? I don't know. We're talking about at least 2 African countries. If Sumatra's in Africa, then we're talking 3. I'm a geographer too. This is embarrassing. I don't know where Sumatra is. I'm guessing they're all African countries because another type is Madagascar vanilla, and it's probably is vanilla a African thing? I was unaware of that. Anyway, let's continue. Only to awaken as the sun takes its final bow. Enter Sunkiller. Embrace the night. Yeah, Masthead. Cool. That's cool. All right. Here we go. Life Cycles. Another Masthead beer. This was a barrel-aged barley wine. Not bad. Not bad. That was one of the higher priced beers on the calendar. We also had another barley wine that was Old Numbskull. That was day 13, AleSmith, bourbon barrel aged. Bobby didn't like that one. Bobby doesn't like barley wines. Mushu Shoo Shoo Shoo. That was a dark ale. I thought that was pretty good. 4.75 on that one. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. Barrel aged red velvet donut stout. I remember that one. That was good. That did have it. $21 for that one. That was probably the most expensive beer on here, I think. Not that I'm like calling out the prices or anything, but that did cost the most. Nope, we had one more that was higher. That was the Cantillon Creek 100% Lambic. God tier sour cherry. Yeah, that beer was fucking good. That beer was good. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. God tier. That beer was good. That beer was real good. This beer is real good. This beer is pretty good, man. Wow. What do we got going on here? I mean, vanilla, really. I've already read it. All these African vanilla beans, I guess. Sprouts, something. Vanilla. Yeah. It's good. In downtown Cleveland. I've been downtown Cleveland a couple times. Loved it. Great city. Cleveland's what's up. Cleveland knows what it is. Shout to the Barrel House, obviously. Thank you for doing this. Gus, Matt, Better Matt, thank you for taking the time to put this list together. I thought this was a fantastic year. The diversity of beers was unbelievable. And I think now, having participated in it, from your perspective, I think there's going to be a lot of reflection that happens, and then next year's going to be like wild and insane. It's going to be fun to see how it changes. This was awesome. From the coordination that happened from summer on through the fall to the build in November, all the way through the execution. Watching the videos from Better Matt and Gus have been awesome. I've loved all of it. I loved watching Stev's videos. I love the editing. You know, I love catching up with Matt through his videos because we don't always get to connect on a daily basis. We do a podcast together, but we don't talk, every single day or anything. So it's nice to see his videos. It's good to see all of the other participants. And, of course, it keeps Bobby and I in touch. Sometimes we get lost in the sauce with work and all that stuff. And it's nice to have that. Overall, the calendar's been phenomenal. Not as many videos this year with Phil together, but I think that was to the betterment of the calendar video library. When Phil's able to kind of air it out, it's he gets a lot more technical, a lot more good stuff comes out. When I'm there interrupting him or speeding it along, sometimes gotta be like, God, come on, let's go. I got schedules to maintain, got things to do. This beer is really good. The thing about vanilla is it makes every beer better. It's without question. Now I will say that the baseline stout here, 14.9%. That is a major surprise. That is a major surprise. This beer has the perfect coat. It's really good. I'm surprised I like it this much. I'm just kind of shocked. It's just because it's late. It's not because I'm bored. This beer's great. Branch and Bone, awesome. Love them. A lot of cool breweries on here. We got the Branch and Bone. We got a couple European guys that I've never heard of. Can't even pronounce some of them. Butcher and Brewer, annual participant here. Maybe we could get Butcher and Brewer to give us some like Branch and Bone did. When they find out that they've been in all of our calendars, maybe they'll hook us up with something. 450 North, just one of the kings of our podcast, and they don't even know it probably. Martalis comes in, boom, wipes it clean. Does a great job. Rheingeist, great to have them in here because the last time we almost had Rheingeist, it was a beer that everyone had. Perennial, more Branch and Bone, Street Side, awesome. Weldworks, Dogfish Head, yeah. How could we forget about Dogfish Head? Masthead twice. Duchess ales. I'm not going to read them all, but they're, you know, Hoof-Hearted even with an IPA. There's just some great beer. Just an awesome calendar. Yeah, I'm going to miss these days. These were good days. Good videos. Lots of chit-chatting. I think I had more fun with the videos this year than I did last year. I kind of was more free, a little bit more jokey. Put on some good, funny shirts. This beer is great. Man, what a way to end. What a way to end on a high note. It's got a thickness to it. It's got a sweet syrupiness to it. I would even venture to say that this beer would be good for breakfast. You could replace your coffee with this beer. This would be your hair of the dog. I'm going to Mexico. When I go to Mexico, if they have this, I'm having this for breakfast. This beer is great. It's very, it's got just enough of the roasty maltedness to give you a little coffee, but not really. You know, not really. It's more chocolate. It is like mostly chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla. The vanilla comes through. It's amazing. Coffee's really on the breath. This beer is good. Good way to end it. Yep, Santa Claus is coming. You gotta, you know, you look around the neighborhood. It's kind of weird at this time of night. It's normally I do stay up late a lot and I wake up early. I don't get a lot of sleep. That's just it's just who I am. I just like to. I get sleep on the weekends, but on the weekdays I don't get a lot of sleep. You stay up late like this. You look around, and like all the lights are off in the town. Everybody's sleeping. But now you got all the little, like second story lights, and the living room lights are on in like every house because the parents are all getting the presents for the kids, putting them under the tree. Santa's coming. Got to make sure everybody's sleeping because you don't want to be awake when Santa gets there. It's kind of I think Christmas is a cool tradition, even if you aren't a religious person or you aren't of a Christian faith, but you maybe celebrate Christmas. I know a lot of Jewish, Americans celebrate Christmas just because it is a holiday that has kind of overtaken the pop culture. Still celebrating Hanukkah, but also Christmas. I don't know about with their kids at home. I'm not sure how all that stuff works, but I know that there's a lot of Jewish people who celebrate Christmas with their Christian friends. You know, I think it's a cool tradition to have this where the whole country, and I know it's very, biased towards Christians. Obviously, it's a Christian holiday, but it is also, it can feel somewhat isolating to people who don't celebrate it. But at the same time, it's a cool tradition that the whole country kind of just like shuts down and everybody gets a day off. And even if you don't celebrate it, you get that day off. It's Christmas, go home, be with your family, remind yourself what it's all about, what you're working for. And then for those parents, we're all in unison and we're kind of taking that deep breath going like, oh, it's finally over. But then during, the Christmas holiday, you get to see all your family and stuff. So it's fun. It's nice. I think it's great. And this Advent calendar is a great build up to that. All of December is consumed with a beer a day. And I love it. It's fantastic. So, I think the beer of the calendar was the Cantillon God Tier Cherry Lambic. I personally thought that there was at least a Saison in there that I did not care for. If I had to pick a worst, I don't think it's fair to pick a worst, but if I had to, it would probably be a Saison, or I was disappointed by the cream ale, but I'm, really into those, so that makes sense. Yeah, that was supposed to be a s'more cream ale. I think that would probably do it there. Really, just a lot of great beer. Black Razith, that was the Branch and Bone. That was a good beer too. It's funny, you know, I was talking to Phil about this earlier today. It's funny what happens in the calendar. You have identity and personality. That is what rises to the top. Identity and personality. So, you know, you have a beer like this Sunkiller, and it's just so different. It's just got more personality. It uses the vanilla perfectly. It's got the roasted malts, but they're not overpowering in one area. And it's executed perfectly. And then you got beers like Triple Decadence, where it's like, this beer should be great, but it's not. You know, and then you have the S'more Cream Ale. That beer, if done right, would be a memorable beer. It would rise to the top. Cream of the crop, as they say. And that pun is intended because I'm talking about cream ales. I'm talking about cream of the crop. I'm talking about being the best, being memorable. And what is funny, and I said this funny about this, is that sours continue to rise above all the other beers. It's like no matter how hard you try to admit that these other beers are the best, the biggest personalities, the starkness, the difference is in the sours a lot of the time. The God tier cherry, the Black Razeth, these beers, the 450 smoothie sours, these beers, they have staying power. Some of the barley wines, yes, they're there to stay. Some of them, you know, we learned not all of them are created equal. There's a good amount of barley wines on this calendar, and some of them were great, some of them weren't. What winds up happening is I could compare this to wrestling, and I think Matt will enjoy this analogy. The calendar is like wrestling. If you get a 4.5 and above, or you get a 0.5 and below, those beers are memorable. That's the sweet spot for the calendar. You want beers that are excellent or terrible. But beers that are in the middle, those threes, those 2.5 to 4, that's the crowd, the silent crowd. It's just like wrestling. Either they're booing you or they're cheering you. Either way, that's good. But if they're not saying anything, that's not good. That's not memorable. And that's the same with the calendar. We want memorable beers. Beers we're going to talk about. Wow, there was a Wild Ohio. It was terrible. That's not the case. So a lot of beers that fell within the middle, they were good. And this calendar had great diversity, and there was a lot of goodness to it. They won't be remembered. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad calendar. This is probably the most thoughtful, the most detailed, the most diverse calendar we've had in the 5 years we've done it. And from that regard, it's the best calendar we've done. It's the best calendar because we had all of those things. You know? So, there it is. Day 24. It's Christmas Eve. That beer was great. I'm going to give Vanilla Sunkiller a parting score of 5.0. That beer is phenomenal. It's everything you want out of a stout. It's got the perfect amount of vanilla. It's perfectly smooth. It's just so not boozy. Really, really good beer. Wow, I can't wait to finish this beer. And that's it. I mean, I gave you a good 20 minutes of content there to kind of go out. Thank you, Gus. Thank you, Better Matt. Thank you, Barrel House. Thanks, Matt, for helping out, getting this thing set up. You know, I kind of felt like just a side character in this whole thing. Matt really did all the work, and I appreciate that. It was a great calendar. We'll see you guys later, next year even, for those who'd only joined for the calendar. Bye.